Mary Ellen Mark was an American photographer that told the stories of people's lives with her photojournalism. Throughout her career, she published 18 collections that focused on the experiences and lives of outcasts and oddities of society. Her work was often displayed in The New Yorker, The New York Times, Life, Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, and in touring exhibits around the world. Her photography addressed social issues and provoked dialogues about the issues like homelessness, prostitution, and mental illness that are found worldwide. Rather than ignore the imperfections in society, Mark worked to show their existence. This photograph, titled Kamala Behind Curtains with a Customer, was taken as part of her exhibit called Falkland Road in Bombay, India, in 1987. Mark spent 10 years trying to capture photographs of the women prostitutes that worked on a highly trafficked and poor road, but it wasn't until 1987 when she worked her way into their lives and was able to tell their story as she spent time getting to know them. In this image, Mark was able to capture Kamba's smiling face as the focus of the image, but you quickly see the large hand of an unknown customer pulling her back behind the curtain. You then begin to notice the conditions that she is working in: the mattress on the floor and the curtain that separates one bed and customer from the other. Her smiling face makes you feel that you want to be laughing with her, but reality quickly sets in when you are reminded of what this woman is going through. This next image is titled At 6 o'clock each afternoon, the Bombay girls prepare for work. The line of women wearing their best, most colorful garments and putting on makeup seems like a happy event at first glance. In any other circumstance, you would think they were getting ready for a great party, but as you look through the pictures in this exhibit, you understand that these women are the same women who were washing their children and putting them to bed in the room next door. Now they are prepping for a night with customers. Individually, each of Mark's photographs are aesthetically appealing and interpretive, but as an exhibit, these pictures are thought-provoking and reveal a truth about the circumstances of the lives of prostitutes all over the world. The next series of images are all from the exhibit and book titled Ward 81. All of these photographs were taken at the Oregon State Hospital in Salem, Oregon, in 1976. Mary Ellen Mark was very much interested in mental illness and the stigma associated with it. The images shown in Ward 81 depict the isolated lives of institutionalized women. In these first images, it is not obvious that the setting in which the story takes place is in a mental institution. The women could be at a university, a workplace, or a hostel, and their actions and emotions would all make sense. Because Mark chose to have these women looking directly through the camera at the viewer, I was able to connect with them and make assumptions about who they were, how they acted, and what they were doing. The candidness of the photos also allows the viewer to understand each individual's character. But as the book progresses, the purpose of the exhibit becomes more obvious. There are hints in the patient's eyes, body postures, and bedrooms that showcase their abandoned and mistreated lives. The transformation of these next images is drastic. The first photographs often showed several women together, but you will notice that each of these next images only show one woman. This was done to highlight the isolation of these institutions. The black and white composition makes the scene feel cold and dehumanized. I empathize with the loneliness and the lack of freedom that these women clearly experienced and felt sad and scared for what goes on behind the walls of the hospital, especially since I identified with the women in the first series of images. Mark's book succeeded in making me feel uncomfortable and left me thinking about how people are treated and the history of the use of mental hospitals. Mary Ellen Mark's ethically evaluative photographs demonstrate the universal vulnerability of human lives. Mary Ellen Mark captured portraits of real-life people rather than landscape scenes, still lifes, or pose models. Much of her photography is also candid and in the moment. This unique process helps to tell a genuine story. The people Mary Ellen Mark photographed were more than just models to her. She took the time to get to know them and understand them on a personal level, not just the situations they were in. Mark even described the women she met in the mental institution as her sisters. Her ability to capture emotions, whether it be heartbreak, joy, fear, or worry, made her approach to exposing social problems successful. She made it less about judging and abandoning those different than us, and more about sharing our similarities, as well as the importance of helping one another out. For years, Mary Ellen Mark contributed to the dialogue of some of society's most avoided issues and encouraged the thoughts and contributions of her viewers.